Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is January 15, 2022. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts, and this is Cynthia Ortiz. Used allegedly. Nobody's been convicted in a court of law just yet. And apply the but-for standard. But for Mr. Perry and his hired hands picking a fight with me after I moved twice and changed my life completely to avoid a fight, we wouldn't do these stalker podcasts, just like the TikTok girl. She filmed Neil so she'd have proof, right? That's kind of what you do. You can prove somebody's coming at you with, I don't know, wiretap orders and such, leaks and such. Then you have, witness statements and such, Mr. Perry. How do you know you weren't, with your Alzheimer's situation, how do you know you weren't talking to your neighbor thinking you were talking to Dave Robertson and told him all kinds of shit? So it's hard to tell. I know we have to repeat ourselves all the time. Also, use the reasonable person standard. Reasonable, prudent, individual. So in a criminal case, you have to establish, it's better if you can establish a criminal intent. Mens rea is what they call it. So Perry guys were just recorded. One of them, he's got some hicks, some hillbillies working for him, I guess. She's going to be eating bologna sandwiches if she won't mind. So I'm going to be eating bologna sandwiches if I won't mind you. Mind, like obey, subjugate. Is that what you mean? Whoever you are? Okay, so what we've done with that recording is now we have established mens rea of your intent to coerce me by taking my money. We've already talked about that. Harassment of my witness, tampering with my witness, 1512, 1513. Sections 1512, 1513 of the United States Code, Title 18, RICO Act, violation. Witness tampering, also that makes you look guilty. It's called an act showing consciousness of guilt. Why do you need me to mind you? I'm not anything to you. I did move twice to get away from Mr. Perry. He's just a stalker. Stalking is a crime in all 50 states. It's actually a federal crime too. He crossed the state lines. So, we're going over reality. You guys always want to know, how did she find out? Oh my God, how'd she know? Who's talking? Who told? Perry typed in my phone all fucking day, every fucking day, names of people I have never met. Is it Ty? I know 20 Ties. I don't know if it's the same Ty. Same thing with Jim, same thing with Kim. I know like 5 Kims, I know 5 Jims, I know like 20 Ties. Don't know Desiree, don't know Z, don't know Al. I gave a lap dance to a guy named Al that I know of one. There might have been even more than that. These guys that would come in and get a lap dance don't always give me their real name. So, I don't know who these people are. Is it your family? Well, I told you not to talk to my family, didn't I? Why are you talking to my family, Mr. Perry? I moved twice to get away from you and not have a conflict. I kept my mouth shut for 4 years, sir. Only a few close friends knew you were stalking me in Lubbock. I didn't want to be a scandal. What I wanted was for you to leave me the fuck alone. And I said that over and over and over and over. And you enjoy, our witness says, torment and the torture and the starvation of women and children. So that comment just made, she's gonna be eating bologna sandwiches if she won't do what we say. Please make sure that you follow every one of these little things that you try to do to me with 10 words. And you're caught more than ever in your lives. That is mens rea. That's all we need right there. You expressed intent to commit a crime against me. Coercion. You're trying to force me to do something against my will. And in this country, that's called witness tampering. That's called victim subjugation, violent. I don't know. It's called a lot of things. But you don't do that to people who are wrong. You only do that to people that are right. Because if I'm already lying, you don't need a coerced lie, do you? You want me to apologize. We've heard you recorded, Mr. Perry, telling all kinds of people that. Can I just be candid with you? We're doing what she says. But we just need to lie. So we're going to do this false arrest thing. We just need her to apologize. We're going to force her against her will to lie for me and cover up for me. And I'm on the opposite side of that, Mr. Perry. I have 40 police officers that get that information from you to me. I don't know how many different times I need to say that. Your Alzheimer's, your inability to remember anything, your inability to have the accurate assessment of your situation, your can't remember who you told what lie to, talk to your neighbor thinking you were talking to David Robertson. We exploit the hell out of those weaknesses. Those are weaknesses. So next time you want to tell me what I'm going to do, make sure that you follow those kind of comments with, and we're caught more than ever in our lives. How many times was your crime caught before you met me? How many times was your crime caught after? Mr. Perry, your insatiable obsession with the torment, torture, and starvation of women and children is a sex crime, by the way. It's a human rights violation, sir. And it seems to be a whole lot more important to you than even a cover-up. It's definitely more important than getting a date with a woman, because women are turned off by that. Other guys don't do that. They can get a date and you cannot. For 8 years, you're a reject. But, but let's just say you're not interested actually in that. Let's just say you're wanting a cover-up. It's not even getting you a cover-up, because what you're doing is provoking the 40 cops helping me. McNamara email, Michael's drugged email, harassment email. On and on and on and on. Do you remember even what the McNamara email is all about? It seems like you don't remember things. We already caught you on the ringtone, Richard. 50-something times. It's like Alzheimer's is in your water that you guys drink or something. But it's a weakness we've exploited. So when you do something to me, or you try to coerce, or you try to force me to do something against my will, or say something against my will, violent subjugation, please always follow these sentences like, she's gonna be eating bologna sandwiches if she won't do what we say, with, and we're caught more than ever in our lives. We're gonna false arrest her, and you're caught more than ever in your lives. We're gonna kill her, and you're caught more than ever in your lives. Peeping, creeping, poking, torture, torment, starvation of women and children. Human rights violations, Mr. Perry. You don't know all the people you pissed off when you did that. Because guess what? The entire rest of the world despises that kind of conduct. It's far, far, far outside social norms internationally. It's not just the United States. It's internationally. It's shunned. That kind of conduct. You got some kind of sicko problem. When I say it's so easy, it's not even fair, you also fail to factor in human empathy. You don't have it. You guys are sociopath. So you don't have those emotions. So you don't think about that when you sit down and you come up with some sort of plan to subjugate. Gotta get her back out on that pole. Who even talks like that? Like, get the hay out of your mouth, hillbilly. So please remember, you got a lot of weaknesses. You all get all up in arms. How'd she find out? How'd she know? Who told? I want those numbers. How many times were you caught before you met me? How many times were you caught after? Who is told? I'm not told who the leaks are. I'm not told who informants are. That's very, very confidential. Mr. Perry asked me, and I'm like, dude, I've answered this question so many times, every fucking day. Go work or something. Get off your fat, lazy, perverted ass and go work. Then you won't need a cover-up. Because that's what we do. We don't have to buy a judge or a cop. No cops and no judges bought by us. Because we work. While you sit and poke and peep, pervert around, we're working, catching you. It's so easy, it's not even fair. You can't remember anything. It's so easy, it's not even fair. We have to repeat ourselves. It's so easy, it's not even fair. When you make a threat to me, always follow that up with, and we're caught more than ever in our lives. Make sure you always put that in, because in order to be accurate, act with precision and accuracy, you have to properly assess the situation. And the situation is that you're caught more than ever in your lives. That's reality. It's easy to deal with people who are in delusion, because we have an accurate view of the situation and you don't. You're living in pretend land. You wish it was like that, and it's not. Because the truth is, reality is, people despise what you do. You're making everybody creeped out and uncomfortable. You're making everybody feel emotions they don't want to feel. And we all want it stopped. And your peeping problem, Mr. Perry, is more important to you than even a cover-up because you provoke when you do that. You piss off all the wrong people, sir. See, you thought long ago that you mattered. Your district is 3% of one state, isn't it? And it's 86% Republican, so you can't flip that district. There's absolutely zero point in targeting your elected position. Nobody with half a brain would waste their time on your elected position. What you would want to do if you're let's for example use the what's the name of that thing? Oh, Planned Parenthood. Let's say you're Planned Parenthood and you're looking at the district over there in Lubbock. You got to look at the voting demographic, and the voting demographic demands pro-life. They demand it. You're not going to get anybody elected in that district that's pro-choice. Not going to happen. So it doesn't really do a whole lot of good to try to recruit a candidate to run against Perry. Doesn't do any good at all. Because if you're pro-choice, they will not vote for you in that district. It's 86% far right-wing Republican. And it's one of the smallest districts in the state. So it absolutely does no fucking good at all to do anything with Perry. Whoever gets elected in that position must be three things: pro-life, pro-gun rights, and pro-protection of marriage. That's it. If you are not Republican on those three issues, you can't get elected. You can't do it. It's 86% of the voters want that. That's what they demand as their representative. So what fucking good would it do to spend any time at all worried about Mr. Little Charles Perry? Wouldn't. It does no good. There's no point in it. It's absolutely no point in that. I had connections all over. I'm not even going to say all the connections that I've had and still have. It's a lot bigger than one small guy in one state in the smallest district. My connections are a hell of a lot bigger than that. And the new guy on top of all that when I met him. And then I left, so now it doesn't matter. You don't legislate in Oklahoma. So I don't care what you do. I really couldn't care less. But what I do care about is when I'm trying to just live my life, you come at me and you try to make me eat bologna sandwiches, and you kill a cop trying to help me, and you try to false arrest me, and you try to take my money, then you're going to get me upset with you, because that's all criminal activity. Has nothing to do with your job as a legislator. That's the other thing that your mentally problem, that's made all this interesting with your, like I said, when you want to know who told on you, remember that you're getting told on more than ever in your life. And the way that we do that, guys, is we exploit your weaknesses. And one of those weaknesses, no grasp on reality, no ability to remember anything. And you keep going at me and you get caught. You go at me, you get caught. You go at me, you get caught. More than ever in your lives. You like to coerce. You like to violate RICO Act. You guys violate that thing more than I've seen a lot of... I lived in Vegas. I lived in Las Vegas, Nevada. Enough said right there, huh? I moved twice and didn't tell anybody you had a problem until after I had moved twice and begged you, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. And this thing that you guys do isn't even benefiting you, but for you getting off on peeping and poking and starving women, just like our witness said. Other than that, other than your cheap little quick thrill, getting women hysterical so our witness says he likes to get women hysterical so he can go rub one out. Other than that, what is it benefiting you? Well, I'm not saying it. You have no date and you have no cover-up. More than ever in your life. So when you do that, threatening me, she's going to be eating bologna sandwiches if she won't mind. If I won't be coerced and violently subjugated, you're going to starve me to death. Duly noted for the record. Now we have Maine's Ray. Thank you. Always finish those sentences with, and we're caught more than ever in our lives, and I want those numbers. How many times were you caught before you met me? How many after? Do remember I did say Mike Neely was drugged? Before that was public record. Nobody said it first because my guys went over there and looked. McNamara email. Mr. Perry, you're still trying to do it. Fabian puzzle. Mr. Perry, who could get that to me in jail? I'll show it. Look at this. This is Officer Neely's arrest report. Not one mark on him. Consistent with a beat down. Beat someone to death. Not a mark on him. Plain out for me. The injuries on Mr. Neely that indicate he was even in a fight. He had an IV in the right hand. Keep that in mind. Alright, so I forgot to do the Fabian puzzle. Hold on. This is the take 2 of the first one because I made 2 mistakes. One is I didn't show the Fabian puzzle. This is it. My guys get this to me in jail. Notice that Fabian and Hope intersect. There's the word boo on the left. That is a private joke between one of the cops helping me and I. And it also denotes the fear Mr. Perry causes. Sadness on the right. Me is denoting his Mr. Perry's selfishness. He's a butt-in. But notice he's only a butt-in for a little while. At the end of this, Hope and Fabian still intersect. So it wasn't just some name. It was Fabian's name. And it wasn't just at some random time in my life. It was right then. Right in jail. Right up under Perry's nose. I get this. And those people that can do that have a lot of power. They don't know what else was in that book for me. But that is very specific to me, the way those words are arranged just like that. Very, very specific to me. Fabian was the guy that I met in Dallas that Mr. Perry bought into. You know, he was recorded telling Fabian, after my first false arrest, I'll find a way to put her back in jail. She won't get out this time unless she's with me. You need to give up. I talked with Mr. Robertson the first night he came and introduced himself to me as Perry's hitman. Recant your claims, he's a stalker, or I'll put you in the lake. Why don't you like Charles? Oh, gee, maybe because he did that. And he's just a weirdo. I mean, he's a criminal weirdo. Why would I like him? And that whole Fabian thing. And he said, Fabian doesn't want you. Fabian was my manager in Dallas at the club where I worked. I liked him. Mr. Perry found out about it. Nick, all hell broke loose. So, and he hurt Fabian, and I'm sorry to Fabian that happened. I mean, again, Perry's butting into stuff that's none of his business. David tells me, Fabian doesn't want you. I said, well, Fabian needs to tell me that himself. He's a grown man. That's between me and him, actually. It has nothing to do with you. You don't get to speak for him. And he goes, well, actually, he just wants to fuck you. I said, okay, then let us fucking be done with it. And we don't have to, then, you know, why are you guys dragging this out? You're butting in to something doesn't concern you. And he said, actually, Charles and Fabian fought for months over you. And I said, there's nothing to fight over. I don't like Charles. Charles is a stalker. So there's no decision to be made between Fabian and Charles. That decision is between me and Fabian. Charles is a butt-in. He is to get out of my life. He's just a stalker. So there's that. Also, I'm redoing this because the Bacon, Tik Tok Bacon's, hang on. While I'm playing while I did the video that I'm doing retake right now, I said that the Bacon guy said, you don't have the right to hurt her. So what happened is, I mean, I've heard this a lot, but I've got a zillion things going on, and I'm actually trying to survive Mr. Perry's attacks on my, economic subjugation. Let's do another false arrest. Let's, kill her. And I gotta work, and I'm in school, and I got court, and I got 1,000 things on my mind right now, so I'm gonna sometimes make a mistake on shit like that. But I walked off for just a second. At the end of this video, he says, you don't have the right to her. I thought he said, you don't have the right to hurt her. Either he didn't. He said, you don't have the right to her. But either way, you don't have the right to me, and you don't have the right to hurt me. And there are laws to protect me from you hurting me.
And those laws are being broken. And you keep getting caught and you keep getting told on. So, cease and desist. Because what you're doing does not even benefit you. Mr. Perry, you're offending everybody. You're disturbing people. You're creeping people out. And they're telling on you. There are wiretap orders. There's leaks. There's all kinds of ways to get information that you're trying to do something harmful to me to break the law. So I apologize that I misheard the man. I'm correcting it right now. And it's coming up here in the video in just a second.
For you getting off on peeping and poking and starving women, just like our witness said. Other than that, other than your cheap little quick thrill, getting women hysterical so you can, our witness says he likes to get women hysterical so he can go rub one out. Other than that, what is it benefiting you? Well, I'm not saying it. You have no date and you have no cover-up. More than ever in your life. So when you do that, threatening me, she's going to be eating bologna sandwiches if she won't mind. If I won't be coerced and violently subjugated, you're going to starve me to death. Duly noted for the record. Now we have mains Ray. Thank you. Always finish those sentences with, and we're caught more than ever in our lives, and I want those numbers. How many times were you caught before you met me? How many after? Do remember I did say Mike Neely was drugged? Before that was public record. Nobody said it first because my guys went over there and looked. McNamara email. Mr. Perry, you're still trying to do it. Fabian puzzle. Mr. Perry, who could get that to me in jail? I'll show it. Look at this. This is Officer Neely's arrest report. Not one mark on him. Consistent with a beat down. Beat someone to death. Not a mark on him. Plain out for me. The injuries on Mr. Neely that indicate he was even in a fight. He had an IV in the right hand. Keep that in mind. It's highlighted for you. What's that say? I don't want a scandal. This was in 2014. I'd already moved once here. All I want him to do is to leave me the fuck alone. Politically, he's doesn't even matter to me. He's not on, to me, on the radar. He's not even there. He's not on the radar politically or romantically, either one. He's just a nothing, a pathetic nothing. I've been in politics and around law enforcement all my life. All my life. Federal, Mr. Perry. I worked on federal legislation, not state. I did one state in New Mexico. Didn't do state in Texas. Did school board. That's a whole different body. So if you're confused about what your legislative duties are, get some help. Get some help. Please remember, there are weaknesses that we exploit. You can't remember anything. You can't remember what lie you told what to. You can't control yourself. And you don't have an accurate grasp on the situation. Can't properly assess the situation. And you pretty much never respond appropriately to what's just said. How many times were you told on before you met me? How many after? And we had to keep repeating ourselves. Something wrong with that. This was dated October 29, 2015. Mr. Perry wants to do a false arrest and coerce me. And you have never stopped. You're still doing it. You're still going at it. Which is a RICO violation. Title 18, Section 1512 and 1513, Mr. Perry. And you don't coerce a witness who's wrong or lying. You don't need to coerce somebody to lie who's already lying. And you don't need an apology, sir. All you had to do was leave me alone. I moved twice and didn't tell anybody what you were doing to me for 4 years. I was already out of the state before I said something. Long gone. Long gone. Before I told people what you were doing to me. You had all that time to control yourself. Low IQ, no self-control, and you're told on more than ever in your lives. No sociopath has empathy, so they cannot understand other people, how people think. They don't factor emotions in. They don't have them. It's like running a race with no feet, and everybody else has feet. Also a weakness we exploit. So easy, it's not even fair. We're going to send her home, harass the fuck out of her, and then when she complains about it, we'll say she's harassing us. That's dated April 2018. All the stuff that are in emails, they came from a recording of you talking about it. And so, when there's a recording of you talking about it, we've got Maine's Ray. You expressed intent to commit a crime. Very important component in a criminal case, isn't it? You intended to commit a crime. We're gonna make her eat bologna sandwiches if she won't be coerced and lie and mind us. People I don't even fucking know. I didn't pick a fight with you. You picked one with me. Why don't you go work? Then you don't need to lie and you don't need to coerce. I don't know who the hell a lot of you people are that he hired. That he's even asking me, is that who told? I don't know who that is. I have no idea who the fuck that is. I know I told you to stay away from my family and my friends. Stay the fuck away from them. Stay the fuck away from them. Even if you don't want to obey the law and stop harassing everybody and meet me and everybody I know, at least look at it this way. If I think they're talking, maybe I shouldn't tell them anything. Duh. March 2nd, Mike was drugged. Didn't do it. And by the way, didn't get a full tox panel until he got to the hospital. Oh, look at that. Months later, May, sure as shit he was. Treated with Narcan and not tested till he got to the hospital. His chemical composition in his body changed after that Narcan was administered. So, you don't know. You think Lucky gave him the opioids? Do you think Lucky drugged Mike? I don't think Lucky did. I think somebody else was in that room. There's no cameras in the hallway. They were the only cameras in the lobby. I think Mike was drugged, and Lucky was yelling at the person who gave him the drugs. And that guy beat him to death, because you can't. I mean, if Mike pulled off something no man on the earth has ever pulled off, while drugged and unconscious, beat someone to death, and ends up with not a mark on him. Because the right hand was red and swollen, only the right hand, and that had an IV in it, so it was red and swollen from the IV. This confirmed that. My guys went over and checked. Something's wrong here. Let's look into it. This guy just took a police report about car vandalism, which we also had beforehand. Right there. You're recorded. You are recorded. Main's right there. Criminal intent. You need it in a criminal case. You got a criminal case. That's why they got this to me. How many thousands are there that I didn't type up? I don't have time. I don't have time to type them all up. I type them up if it's a serious threat. Otherwise, I got shit to do, Mr. Perry. I have a life. You need to try getting one. I don't have to buy cops and judges. I don't have to coerce. I don't have to do weird shit to people. And you do. And you don't have a date. Guys that don't do what you do, they can get a date and you cannot. You're a turnoff. And you don't have a cover-up either. You think that even if you're not really interested in a date, that you would look at it and go, I'm not even getting a cover-up out of this, provoking her. It's not really benefiting me. Because what happens is when I provoke her, they go at me, and then next thing I know, what I just said is all over the internet, all over emails, all over, it goes to her attorney. To establish means, Ray, you intended to cause a harm to me. You intended to cause a harm to me through an illegal act. She's going to be eating bologna sandwiches if she won't lie. Get the hay out your mouth, hillbilly. Follow that up with, and you've been caught more than ever in your lives. And you've been caught more than ever in your lives. When you fuck with me, that's what happens. So make sure you always add those 10 words after every time you sit down and go, we're going to do this XYZ to her. We're going to do XYZ to her to coerce and force her against her will to do or say something she doesn't want to do or say. Do that. And then make sure you follow it up with those 10 words. And we get caught more than ever in our lives. How many times before you met me? How many times after? I want that number, please. I want those numbers, please. How many times were you caught before you met me? How many times after, Mr. Perry? Nobody owes you anything, Mr. Perry. You are the one coming at me. I moved twice to get away from you and not have a fight. And you, had you left me alone, you wouldn't need a cover-up either. Only a few close friends knew you had a weirdo problem. And they didn't live in Texas. You know, you have Alzheimer's. You're unsure and unclear of what your legislative duties are. Harassing women are not that. Harassing women who've moved to get away from you twice and completely changed their lives. That is not part of your legislative duties, sir. If you'd go do your legislative duties, you wouldn't have time for that. And you wouldn't need a cover-up now. I came here not to pick a fight with anybody, to get away from a fight. I moved twice, completely changed my life. No one owes you any fucking thing, Perry. No one. It isn't illegal to reject unwanted male attention. It is illegal to force yourself on a woman who doesn't like you. We have mens rea. You like running your mouth and then you can't remember who you told what to. Talking to your neighbor thinking that's David Robertson because you got something, Alzheimer's or something. Can't remember who you told what lie to. So it's so easy, sir. It's not even fair. So we'll...
Leave me alone. I don't want fruit for this.
And you're like this guy, and everybody's sick and tired of you. I did move twice to get away from you. And to not have a fight, only a handful of people knew. Most didn't live in Texas. They were not your voters. They don't give a shit about you. You think you matter to everybody, and you don't. It's funny as fuck. Go to Vegas. Go to Vegas, Mr. Perry. Walk down the strip and ask people if they know who you are or care. Ask them, do you know who I am? And I promise you, they're all going to say, no. You don't know who I am. I'm a senator from Texas. And they're not going to know. They're not going to care. They might ask you what party you're with. And if they're Republican, they might high-five you and walk off. And if they're Democrat, they might punch you in the face. I don't know. But go to another town outside your little weirdo world and see if anybody at all gives a fuck who you are. No one does, I promise you. I lived in Lubbock for 6 years. I'm 50. So, all my life I've lived in a place other than Lubbock where other people are who don't give a fuck who you are. Don't care. You don't matter. You absolutely don't matter. Go down the strip in Vegas and tell everybody who you are and see if anybody at all gives two shits. You too, David. All you guys who think you're some big shit and everybody's supposed to subjugate. Gotta subjugate. RICO violations. We got mens rea. Criminal intent. We're gonna force and coerce. All y'all that do that, make sure when you sit down and plan a harm against me, remember how many times were you told on before you met me, how many after. Write that on your little whiteboard in your office, and then write your little plan of, criminal weird, and then follow it by, and we've never been caught this much in our lives. Because that's accuracy. That's how the situation really is. And then remember that you look pathetic like him.
Leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women.
Oh, and go to Vegas and ask anybody if they know who you are or if they give two fucks. Just go talk to people, random people, out in the world, outside your little circle of fruitcake. Do you care or know who the fuck I am? And they're gonna laugh at you. Actually, I don't. So, what? Were you in a movie? I mean, they're gonna start asking you, who are you? They're not gonna know. They're not gonna give a fuck. You don't matter. Now, this is you. You're this guy. Pain in the ass, torment, torture, kneel. And you get told on. And nothing else. It's not even benefiting you to do what you do. That I can see. You get no date and you have no cover-up. So what's the benefit? You get a sick little thrill, tormenting and torturing and starving women and kids. And that's all you get. But at this point, you're caught. More than ever in your lives. So when you fuck with me, make sure you put, after every sentence, like... If she doesn't mind, she's going to be eating bologna sandwiches with your hay in your mouth hillbilly bullshit. Make sure you follow that up with, and we're caught more than ever in our lives. Because that's accuracy, and your failure to be accurate about your real situation and the real, properly assess the situation, reality. Remember what just happened. Remember you just got caught. Remember how many times you've been caught every time you fuck with me. Then that's a weakness. Your failure to do that is a weakness we've exploited. And it's so easy, it's not even fair. And you just gave it to us again. Now we got mens rea again. Criminal intent. And you need that in a criminal case. So, this is you, Perry. You are offending people.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
You don't have the right to hurt her. What did he just say? You do not have the right to hurt her. You don't have the right to hurt her. Your conduct is illegal and extremely offensive and disgusting. And that's why you get told on. And you fail to look at how everybody else thinks and how everybody else feels. And you sit around in your little weirdo club and you make plans and then you get caught. And then you make plans and then you get caught. And then you make another plan and then you get caught again. How many times? I mean, this started in 2015. McNamara email, I just showed it. No one gives a fuck what you think. You weren't asked. Go to Vegas and see if anybody at all gives two shits who you are. You're not entitled to hurt her. He just said it. That's how everybody sees you, you monster. So we've duly noted it for the record again. Now we have mens rea. You intend to cause me harm. And this guy thinks like everybody else. You don't have the right to hurt her. Fuck off. When you fuck with me, you get told on, and told on, and told on, and told on, and told on. And your failure to look back and learn and see a pattern here, and remember something, anything. And we have to repeat ourselves because you don't get it. Mental slow. I'm not a special ed teacher, sir. I don't know how to relate to you at all. I don't. I'm sorry. I have no idea how to communicate with someone like you. Because these 40 cops that help me, I don't even have to finish my sentences. So I have no idea how to relate to somebody with Alzheimer's or mental something that you have to say the same thing over and over and over and over. And you can't remember anything, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and you live on planet delusion and can't properly assess anything. It's embarrassing. I don't know what to tell you. I'm tired of it. Everyone is. And you don't understand. People think like him. They're disgusted with you. They're disturbed by you. You don't have the right to hurt her. He just said it. That's how everybody else sees this. For sure, the 40 guys that get me what you just said. She's gonna be eating bologna sandwiches if she won't mind. Get off Noah's Ark. Get the hair out of your mouth and go fucking be normal. Mind your own business. That is a mens rea expression of an intent to commit a violation of Title 18 United States Code, Section 1512. Maybe you need to get a better attorney. Maybe you need a different attorney. You're not even benefiting from what you're doing. You're not. Unless you just can't control your crazy urge to torture, torment, provoke, bother, harm women, and you keep getting caught every time you do, then, you get a quick thrill out of that, and then what? You don't even have a cover-up. Delusional. You don't have a cover-up. You ask me who told, and you think you have a cover-up. Again, that doesn't even make sense. You don't even have a cover-up. Or you wouldn't have to ask me who told. Duh. What does that say? What I'm telling him? He's just nasty. He's gross. I didn't even want $5,000. So you can't get a date with me. Do you understand? No fucking way. What does that say? You could ruin it politically. Yep, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. All I want him to do is leave me the fuck alone. Stalking is a crime in all 50 states. The guy just said how everybody else sees you. You don't have the right to hurt her. Mr. Perry, I don't want your contact at all. And when you contact me at all, in any way, shape, or form, peep, hack, poke, bother, torment, torture, take my money, whatever it is, you get told on and told on and told on and told on, and that's all you get. You get nothing else. And then we have maids Ray. We have your criminal intent. Do you understand English? Do you understand grown-up words? Look back on history. Whatever you try to do to me, always followed up with, and we're caught more than ever in our lives. This was done in like 2018, 17, 18. This is old. I said it again to Dr. Russell. I just wanted to leave me the fuck alone. And he pokes and he pokes and he pokes and he pokes to get attention the normal way. What is that? I want him to leave me the fuck alone. So you can't get a date and you don't have a cover-up. And you get told on and told on and told on and told on and told on. Properly assess your situation, because your failure to do that is a weakness we've really exploited, and you can't remember a fucking thing. It is hysterical. And we have to say the same thing over and over and over and over. And we exploit that too. So next time you want to sit there and plan a little something, always follow that up with, and we're caught more than ever before in our lives. Because while you're sitting around being asshole weirdos, freaky Jasons, my guys are working. We don't have to buy judges and cops. We've never had to buy one. And you got 40 of them working their ass off to catch you, so we have Mains Ray. That's your real situation. That's reality. And you are not getting it, are you, Mr. Slow? And that's why you're in the situation you're in. You're not even benefiting from what you're doing. It's funny as fuck. I have no words for that. I can't relate to that. I cannot even begin to. I'm used to people that get it the first time, Mr. Perry. First time I say it, they get it. You don't have to say it more than once. And you have to say it with you over and over and over. Is it this guy? Is it that guy talking? Is this your leak? Is this my leak? Is that my leak? I'm not told that. Is it this? Is it that? Is that? I'm not told that. Is it this person? Is it that person? I'm not told that. Listen, you don't have a cover-up. Is it this guy? Is that? I have a cover-up. Is it this guy? Yeah, I have a cover-up. I can see you. Nope. Listen, you don't have a date. Look at the results you have. It's talking like, it's like fucking talking to a damn, like I said, a 6-month-old baby. It's so fucking weird. I don't even have words for that. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. You have no cover-up. You will never get a date. So why do you keep doing the same thing that gets you told on? I'm not told who your leaks are. I'm not told that. I don't even care. Why would I care? I don't care. I'm not told that. Listen to the words I'm saying. I don't care, and I'm not told that. Stop making me repeat myself. Write it down. This is irritating the shit out of me. Leave me alone. It's not even benefiting you to act the fucked up way you act. Leave me the fuck alone. If you go work, you don't need a cover up. And you don't have to worry about somebody leaking something. You have Alzheimer's, Mr. Perry. Nobody has to say the same thing this many times if you don't have some kind of memory problem, disease. And you don't, maybe you told your neighbor something thinking you're talking to David Robertson. I mean, you got to factor in all that shit. You love to talk, boy. And you don't remember who you said what to. That's part of it's a weakness we exploit. You love to brag about who you can hurt and subjugate. Get away with it. Not this time. You are made this easy. You've made it easy. Creepy little fuck. Listen, leave me the fuck alone, and you won't need a cover up, and you won't have to ask who told. I'm not told that, and I wouldn't help you if I was. And I've said that over and over and over, Mr. Alzheimer's. I'm tired of repeating myself. So you want to take all my money, duly noted for the record, now we have Mains Ray, of your criminal intent to coerce me. Violate RICO. Perfect. So make sure when you sit around and you have these meetings And you sit there and say shit like that. She's going to be eating bologna sandwiches if she won't mind us and be coerced and violently subjugated. We live up here on Noah's Ark, back in the hillbilly dark hills that, little lady better do what we say. Wow. Make sure you follow that up with, and we're caught more than ever in our lives. And we're caught in our crime more than we have ever been in our lives. And then, before you get all, weirdo about that, Mr. Perry, and ask me, and deny that, he'll deny it. It is funny as fuck. I'm not caught. Who told on me? I'm not caught. Who told on me? And I'm like, oh my God, you're fucking schizophrenic or something. Don't ask me who told when you just said, oh, we're not caught. We can get away. We're getting away with this. But you just asked me who told on you, so I don't think you are. I don't think you are fully grasping the situation here. I don't think you are able to properly assess the situation. It's a weakness we have really exploited, and it's so easy. It's not even fair. I don't like you, creepy Charles. I don't. You don't have a date, any chance of a date, and you don't have a cover-up. And you just get more bizarre by the day. It's something. I don't care what you think. I didn't ask you. You know what I asked you to do? Leave me the fuck alone. So whatever you would plan, always follow that up with 10 words. And we're caught more than ever in our lives. Okie doke. Thanks. And thanks for the mains, Ray. That helps us a lot.